All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm Ethan Bianchi, and we have a very special guest with us here today. He's a McClatchy alumni, and now he's our varsity baseball coach, Coach Mike D. Necochea. Everybody, welcome on.
Thank you.
So, first of all, how have you been? How has your family been during the quarantine? Obviously,
we're doing fine. We're adjusting. Everyone's healthy and home and just taking care of business. It's like everybody else.
So your team has been coming off of several very good seasons. You've been hitting 20 wins consistently. What do you think is behind the consistency and the success of your baseball team?
Well, definitely the students and my coaching staff. I think our secret ingredient, though, has been our cohesiveness, building a team atmosphere where everyone in the program is a part of it. And everyone just battles for each other. So when we go out and take the field, we play with a lot of confidence. We believe that we can have success against anyone around the Sacramento area. And it shows.
Definitely. I know a lot of your players have high academic success, community involvement. Is this something you try to drill into them as a coach or encourage?
Oh yeah, we're not only proud of our team's accomplishments on the field, but in the classroom and in the community. That's something we talk and preach about daily. And it's just we do activities such as Lampard, Pacific, Little League clinics. We run the fall clinic for them. We work with the youngsters. We invite young teams too, and we do a lot of fundraising, fun events. Where we outreach to the community and we look for support, and I think it just instills it in our players. It's not just about baseball, it's about giving back and being a good global citizen.
So you grew up, you lived in the Land Park area, you went to McClatchy. I heard that you played all three major sports. You played football, basketball, baseball during an era with all of these legendary coaches, Bob Sandoval, Harvey Dahara, Bernie Church. What was this experience like for you growing up in this golden age of McClatchy?
It was a dream come true. I moved to Sacramento, Land Park area in middle of sixth grade. So I had trouble making friends. I was at Crocker Elementary School. Back then, Crocker was 4th through 6th grade, and Riverside was the elementary school K through 3rd grade. So anyhow, I was at Crocker and I was having trouble making friends, coming from a small little border town called Brawley. And I would just walk over to McClatchy on my way home. I grew up on Bidwell Way. So my backyard was McClatchy. I just hopped the fence and I'm at McClatchy.
Right there.
So I would go, and it happened to be basketball season, and I just walked in the gym one day and I met Coach Dahara, and I befriended some of the basketball players who actually became my first friends. So they used to call me Little Man. I just hung around the gym, and then a lot of them played baseball. So the next thing you know, I was out at the baseball fields, and Little League came around, and I signed up, and I made a lot of friends through Little League. But McClatchy and I go way back to my first days moving here, being kind of scared. To us, it was a big city. I have 4 brothers. We all went to McClatchy, and like you said, I'm alumni. Playing for those 3 coaches, it was pretty intense back then. They really worked us hard. It was the era where, if you drank water, you were soft. You played through injuries. They told you when you were hurt. I mean, those practices, when I look back, wow, they'd probably arrest me if I had a practice like that right now. But I enjoyed all my time out there, especially with my teammates and my friends. The thing about sports is you develop some really close friendships. And several of us played multiple sports, but to play 3 and to be able to play in playoffs in football, basketball, and baseball, to me, I was really proud of that, to be on such high caliber teams and great coaches. And that's something I want all my guys to experience, to play in a playoff game, to be in that atmosphere. It's just amazing. It's stuff you remember the rest of your life.
Do you still try to stay in touch with some of the people back from your playing days, like just having all these teams?
Yeah, I wish I could share with you some of our group texts, but
yeah, no.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun, and we talk a lot about the big games, the big playoff wins. It's fun to reminisce, and now our kids, coming through high school and sharing their experiences, and sometimes it's really tough for us to relate. But I think me being a coach for as long as I have, I totally get it better than them. But yeah, definitely, those things are having those friendships. They last forever. They really do. And then with Restore the Ward doing the Hall of Fame a few years back, it's also helped to reconnect with other classes and other great athletes and coaches and administrators and teachers that come back.
Pretty nice. Did growing up around all of these great coaches inspire you to come back and coach when you got older and now?
No, not at all. I was like, no way. I was pretty shy in high school. I was a pretty quiet, reserved guy. I wasn't very vocal on the field. I just played hard and played my role. And that wasn't something I really thought about. I just graduated and I was enlisted into the Army, and I had like one last summer before I left. And my younger brother Joe, he was 14 at the time. He was playing Lamb Park pony baseball, and it's 13, 14 age, and they needed a coach. And he came home kind of upset that they didn't have a coach. They were the sorriest team in the league, and only 3 of them coming back, and all the other teams were stacking up. And he asked me, would I coach it? I was 18 years old at the time. I said, yeah. And so I got a buddy of mine to help me, and we ended up winning the league, and I got to coach All-Stars at 18. I think it upset a lot of older dads. But that was the first time I really said, hey, you know what? I'm kind of good at teaching fundamentals and things that I had learned and helping kids. And I think having 3 younger brothers had a lot to do with that too. And a dad that was just a lot of fun to be around, and taught us to have fun when we practiced and worked around the house. But yeah, that was my first, but I went in service, and I don't know if you know, I have 7 children. So I became a dad real quick, and I had to grow up fast, and I had to put playing baseball in college and stuff like that on hold and raise a family. And I started a business, and I got into coaching because a friend asked me to help him coach freshman basketball. And at the time, I was like, I haven't been around it in a while. I just felt like I wouldn't be current with my knowledge. And my oldest daughter was going to be a freshman at McClatchy. And I thought, well, maybe I should help out so I can be on campus and sort of get to know the boys and see what's going on over there. And I was surprised to find out that they were running all the same stuff I ran in high school. Under Coach Tahara, they were still running his same offense and defensive principles. Brad Klopp was the head coach then, and he was my JV basketball coach. And so Eric Fong was coaching the freshman team, and he asked me to help him out. And so I just loved it. And I ended up becoming the head freshman basketball coach for a few years, and had a lot of fun and success with that. And then all my daughters started coming through McClatchy, and it was nice to be on campus and just be around and be there to support them any way I could and get to know their friends a little better, especially the boys. And then, probably 4 years, I did freshman basketball. And then in 2004, I got the JV head baseball coaching job. And to my surprise, I got the varsity job the very next year. And there were some circumstances that led to that, but it was kind of handed to me, sort of handpicked to take it over. And I didn't think I was ready at the time, but I surrounded myself with some really talented and experienced McClatchy alumni players, and that really helped me get going with my baseball coaching career.
Do you like to give any shout outs to your assistant coaches or anything?
Yeah, well, there's many of them, but in the very beginning, my main guy for 7 years was Dom Correa. And he's got a little leaguer right now, so he's back into coaching his son. I think Bobby Joe's probably 9 or 10 now. But yeah, Dom for sure. Also Jesse Hernandez, Xavier Salazar, Mike Karras, my friend Renee Mostert. And then through the years, that was kind of my core group for a while there. We had really good JV coaches, Anthony Crawford, and one of my players, Taylor Record, Nolan Schultz. And then my current staff right now, Brian Flint, he's a McClatchy parent. He has a daughter at McClatchy who's a sophomore. And Art Gonzalez, Randy Davis has just joined us from Florin High School, Roy McDaniel, and I'm missing one more, Bob Crow, an older guy I used to play ball with who's there with us whenever he can be. We got a pretty tight group. We all get along great with the players. We all sort of bring something different to the table, which I think they need. They can hear it different ways and learn from different ideas, and just different ways of saying things, I think, makes a big difference to the kids.
Yeah, everybody learns in their own unique way.
Right, and they might connect with an assistant coach better than me, or sometimes the assistant coach can explain it different to them that makes more sense. Or sometimes what's really helpful is they can reach out to them and then use them as a vehicle to talk to me sometimes if it's difficult for them to, track me down or bring up maybe a tough issue with me.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of a buffer.
So I know you had at least one son that played in McClatchy. I knew him as DJ Mikey D during my freshman sophomore year.
Sure, he'd love to hear that.
Yeah. What was your experience like coaching your children? I know, like, some of the coaches, it's been like really easy for them. Some of them, it's like
definitely my two most difficult years coaching at McClatchy were when Michael was a junior and senior. Really good teams, great players, but be accused of playing daddy ball anytime I played them, and then if I didn't play them, then it was like I was giving in to them. So it was difficult, but having good assistant coaches that always reminded me and that I was doing the right thing, that, we were using the merit system. He got what he deserved, and he had a really good senior year. He really did well. But I had wished, I had hoped that he would have played on in college. I think he had a pretty good opportunity, but he decided he wanted the typical college experience. But those years were tough, and I thought I'd probably retire after his senior year. And after that last playoff loss, I was pretty embarrassed. And to be quite frank, I had the red ass. I was like, I'm not going out this way. I told my coaches after that game, I'm coming back even stronger than ever. Be ready to work this fall. We're going to get after it. We got a good group of kids here. We're going to do some special things in the coming years. And that's what we're doing right now. And it kind of reaffirmed after my son graduated that I'm doing the right things. I do have, programs' best interests at heart, and my system does work. The kids do connect with it, and kids are going on next level and doing special things, and it makes me feel really proud.
Going off of that a little bit, I know you have a lot of older players, but you also have a young core that you're starting to bring up. What are your hopes for the future of the program moving into the next couple of years and beyond?
Well, we just want to, we're striving for greatness. We want to just be great, everything we do. So that's the goal. We're going to keep working at it. There's room for improvement. Of course, everyone wants a section championship. We got pretty close last year, and it was really good for the younger guys to see that and see the caliber of the competition, especially in D1 baseball. We are at a disadvantage when it comes to facilities, at McClatchy High School, and support from the administration over the years. I mean, our athletic director, Rob, does a great job of supporting us and helping us, but it's been limited over the years what he could and could not do. And I think with the change coming, the new change, maybe it'll be better, hopefully. But man, we would love to upgrade our facilities and get them on par with some of the other top programs around the area. Let's face it, we have kids going and playing Division I baseball. Very, very few kids get that opportunity, and coming out of McClatchy to do that, it's pretty amazing. We have right now one of my players, he'll be a junior. Well, he is a junior. He started up, but he's ranked the #1 catcher in the state of California.
Malcolm Moore.
And I think he's
Yeah.
7th in the nation.
I
Has a
played with
D1
him.
scholarship to Stanford. And, and he's not the first one, and he won't be the last one. And we're going to get some more before I leave, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Malcolm Moore.
Yeah, no, I played with him at Lamb Park when I was younger, but always a much better player than me. Yeah, I know. I was like, we knew back then.
We're not surprised.
Yeah. Talking a little bit about the facilities, how has the Metro League scene changed from when you played to when you started coaching to now? How has the power shifted?
Yeah, well, in the 80s, there wasn't the big suburbs and the Outgroves and the Rosevilles, and Granite Bay, and so the Metro was the powerhouse. I mean, all the top teams were in the Metro, and I believe we played way more league games as a result of that. So there wasn't any easy games from what I remember in any sport, for that matter. They were all difficult, and every game was a challenge. The standings were always pretty tight. Back then, Cordova was a powerhouse in baseball. There were 2 open military bases out in the Rancho Cordova area. So Coach Guy Anderson, he was getting the cream of the crop over there. He has just some dynamic pitchers who went on to play in the major leagues. But back then, I mean, they were the team to beat, and it usually was between McClatchy or Christian Brothers, Cordova High School. And Burbank was really tough back then too. Had some really good players then. And then there was always Kennedy, right? Always.
Yeah. You can't get rid of them.
We're not going to talk about them though.
Yeah, we'll move along. Heading into the fall, I know you would normally be playing fall ball. You'd get some conditioning in heading into the spring. What do you miss most about being around your guys, your team, your coaches, all of that in a much different year?
I'm not missing anything. I'm with them right now. I think we're one of the only probably high school programs, well, other than Jesuits in school right now. I'm sure they're working out, but through Wheelhouse batting cages, we've been able to have workouts in the cages out at Lamb Park. We've been working out with COVID restringent rules and taking the protocols and precautions to make sure the coaches and the players are safe. But we even have the freshman boys out right now, working with them, getting to know them.
Right.
Very talented freshman class right now. Just really, really excited about that. We already have a pretty stocked sophomore class. Man, this freshman class looks really good. So I'm with them at least 3 days a week right now for a few hours, and I'm getting to know them a lot better. And we're getting better every time we go out there. And I don't think they have anything else they can do other than Zoom homework right now.
Yeah.
There's a Babe Ruth League where we've been allowed to play their scrimmages with special COVID rules. So we've been participating in that, and that's been a lot of fun for the boys. And I think the parents are, really happy that their kids are able to have some type of a competition during this, tough time.
Right. Do you think this is going to set up the chemistry of your team to be really strong heading into the normal season, whatever it ends up being?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's already a really tight-knit group on the varsity level. But the younger teams usually takes a little while because, in McClatchy, we get kids from all over the place. And, there's usually 2 or 3 or maybe 4 that play together. So bringing them all together, learning their strengths and weaknesses and just seeing their abilities. And they just got to learn the system, and we just try to help them with their fundamentals. And once they learn the good fundamentals, they can always fall back on them in those pressure moments. And yeah, it's just amazing. It is really amazing to be around these. We just feel really fortunate right now. And I tell them, they could shut it down tomorrow, so take each day, don't take it for granted, get the most out of it that you can, stay on top of your grades, just be good, make good decisions out there in the community. We take temperature before every workout. We have a COVID questionnaire we go over with them just to make sure that, so far I think that's also teaching them to be responsible and accountable for their health and safety, as well as for their teammates and coaches. Another good lesson.
Yeah, I was going to ask off of that. Just like, do you think all of the experiences that you had with sports growing up, do you think that helped shape the person you are today? Like, just the lessons that you learn from sports?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that
skill.
was my outlet. It made me feel a part of the school, like I represented the school, and made me want to do well. I also was student body president my senior year.
Oh, nice.
And that was kind of hard for me too, because I was shy. But hey, a couple of my buddies were running for the wrong reasons, I thought, just to pad their transcripts for college. And I said, oh, that's bullshit. I'm going to run then. And I ended up winning. And so at the same time, we started the ROTC program. So I was the first Air Force Squadron commander for the junior ROTC program. And I tell you, I had no spare time my senior year. But that taught me a lot of lessons about, putting in a full day's work, just getting after it, helping others out is really going to help me out more in the long run. And my family, of course, my parents, are still married, been together, since 1964. And my poor mom raising 5 boys, just seeing how hard my parents worked and what they did for us to help us achieve our goals. It was the best example probably of all.
All right, final question. Do you have any new hobbies or anything you've picked up during quarantine? I know a lot of people have been experimenting with some new things.
Well, I'm still, like I said, coaching a little bit with the boys, working out. I still play baseball in the men's league. So I'm getting ready to go to Arizona in a few weeks. That's my main focus, is playing still as long as I can. Trying to be one of the best players at my age, not just here in Sacramento, but in the nation. We'll go play teams from all over the United States. We play on the spring training fields and the stadiums. It's amazing, man. I mean, it's so much fun, and I'm looking forward to that. And I'm a grandparent now, so I got the grandkids coming over. They're all Zooming, the ones that are in school. I have a sophomore granddaughter at McClatchy right now. Give a shout out to Riley Rosales. He's on the soccer team. But Riley's 4.0, all freshman year, and doing well right now. And, I'm getting more time with them, which is nice. They're coming over more and hanging out at the house and sharing whatever I can with them.
All right, to wrap it up, do you have any words of wisdom, a quote or anything you'd like to share with us before we finish this off?
Well, I would like to say our team motto, but probably can't say it on the camera. But
Go ahead.
Well, it doesn't matter with McClatchy. Sometimes I think when we're playing the top schools, whatever sport it is, you just got to go out there. Doesn't matter who it is, who you're facing, F them. Doesn't matter. You just play your game. You get after it. You play for each other. If someone struggles, you just pick them up and you just keep going. And that's served us well over the years.
All right. I'll censor that out when we
No. I love that, by the way, but that's their motto, and they say it before every game. And it really just comes down to trusting yourself, playing with confidence, and being a good teammate. It goes a long way. That's like having an extra fielder, an extra batting lineup. Is you're only as strong as the last guy on the depth chart.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's serving you well.
Yeah.
Just in this year and all of them. Thank you so much for Coach Mike for coming on and talking with us about baseball and McClatchy history. Life is very busy schedule during senior year.
Right.
Thank you so much, Coach. I had a great time.
Thank you, Ethan. Appreciate it. And this is a great project you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah.
You take care. Be safe, be well.
Yeah.
Need anything, you can always call me.
Will do. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and come back next week for more. Thank you.